Today's video series, and right now behind me is a short sale approval letter that I'm not gonna, I'll just do it. So this is the fear that I have for low equity home sellers who hope that their home is worth more than they owe. That would be upside down, but maybe they know it's tight. Maybe they'll sell for enough for to cover the realtor costs and the closing expenses, but maybe they won't. So this is a scenario, and I'm not saying I found this approval letter on the internet on a short sale approval site, and I don't know the background of this situation. Maybe the person was insolvent, maybe they wanted more time, maybe it was a friend, they didn't care about how much the realtors made. But this is the scenario that can happen if you sign a contract with a realtor to sell your home. Offers come in and they say, well, we're not going to cover it. You're not going to have enough to cover it, but we'll get the bank to do a short sale. And, that's true. You could get the bank to do a short sale, but why would you want to take the credit hit when you can avoid it? So for these people, this is what we're talking about today. So this is a short sale where there's a $4,600 deficiency and there were $27,000 in realtor fees. Now, in my scenario, what I'm saying is before you ever sign a listing agreement, I went too far, with a realtor in a low equity market, you would want to make sure that if your realtor fees are going to be more than your deficiency, your realtor should work with you. I mean, here, the two realtors, let's say it was two, not one person making both sides of this, they could have walked away with $23,000 minus $6,000. So, $17,000 and change that they could have split, which I know from experience many realtors would do. Maybe not every buyer's agent, but if they could get the deal done now and their client likes it and they don't have to go negative and wait for a short sale approval, they'll do it. So for me, I would do I'd understand these things. First of all, I'd explain to my realtor, I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to make sure you represent me well. So in order to do that, I need in writing from you and the listing and your broker that I can get out of this contract at any time between us. And they'll say, oh, but the buyer contract. Right. And you're like, I'll deal with that buyer agent. If I have to get an attorney and come up to speed, I want to deal with your costs first, then I'll deal with the buyer's costs. And then they'll object to that. So that's where you have an equity peel down agreement. You're like, well, if you can guarantee me that you'll reduce your realtor fees before I have to go zero, I'll stay listed with you. So you just say, this is the terms of our agreement. I want to be out within 24 hours whenever I like. But you're agreeing you're helping me sell my home. And it's not my job to make you guys make lots of real estate commissions. It's my job to get out without doing a short sale. By the way, that would be good for you too, because you'll get paid sooner. So let me get out without a short sale. And in order to do that, I need a guarantee from you that you will reduce, you'll peel down your commissions to the point where I don't have to go to zero. So that's the first point that you have with the listing agent. Then the second problem you'll have is with the buyer's agent. And that's more significant. I would create this peel down agreement for you. First, we'll find out what numbers that you and the listing agent would go down to, because at some point you're like, well, if we can get this deal done and I have to pay you $3,000 out of my pocket, I'll do that. So you might say, I'll let my listing agent go down to $3,000. But we don't know what's going to happen with the buyer's agent. But we want to encourage offers and we want to negotiate with them. So then we'll make an equity peel down agreement for the buyer's agent. That's going to be when you counter. So the offer comes over and the counter will explain something like this to the agent and the buyer. We are more than willing. We are happy to sell at these costs, but the buyer agent commission is going to cause us to be negative, and we don't want to be negative. So we can counter up to here, or we can counter buyer agent commissions, but you let us know where you want to go. So there's lots of things to deal at the time, but dealing with that real time and live, I think you're going to want an attorney on your team, because frankly, your realtor is there's no even written authorization in your agreement to instruct your listing agent to get on the phone and talk to buyer's agents about buyer's agent commissions. And there's a good reason for that. The California Association of Realtors were forced to remove language and forms related to buyer agent compensation because of that collusion issue that got the realtors associations and the major brokerages sued for what was it, $1.6 billion. So your agent might be capable of doing it, but there's no authorization, and they don't have any ability to draft that type of counter. So what I'm saying is that you should probably speak to an attorney who can get this done for you. Now, ideally, you'd have a real estate broker and attorney who would get it done for you, because then they can do it automatically as part of the deal. So when you're saying, I can't go below 3, and your broker attorney agrees with you, all that attorney is actually promising you is, I'm going to counter properly and protect you. And we're going to give the buyer and the buyer's agent a chance to get this deal done on their terms. And of course, we're going to make, like at the time, like we might counter up $10,000 and then counter down a little bit on buyer agent commission and explain why we're doing it. I mean, there's lots of things we can do, but we work it out real time. So that is part of our equity protection program. We also look at your tax liabilities and other things. And then what happens, like if we're starting to get a feel that you're not getting any showings because it's just priced too high, we can instantly, and I'd let you out at any time. I'm not saying you would go into a short sale, but I would most likely say, look, the market's telling us right now that your home is probably upside down. It's not just underwater because of what's happening with the buyer, with the builders, and they're lowering prices, and what's happening around you. It's unlikely, it's possible, but it's unlikely, unless the buyer really wants your home in particular, they're going to come in and offer you that much money because they know instantly their home would be worth less than they're paying. So that's a rare buyer. So if we're upside down, let me talk to you about your other options. And one of them would be, I don't want you to go negative right now. I don't want you to harm your credit. I want you to go over your other options. I'll go over them with you. We'll leverage them, and then we'll approach your lender with a deed in lieu. And a deed in lieu while you're current. And they might deny it at first, but then we'll say, we'll do all the things I've talked about in other videos, and talk to you on the phone about, because of our longer foreclosure timelines in California. In fact, you could be in your home for up to a year without paying before the lender could even get their home back. Just about a year at minimum, 10 months for sure. And we'll leverage that fact with your lender to get the deals done on your terms. So my name's John McConnon. My website is upsidedownrealestate.com, but this video series is about not going upside down. So you can find me at Listing Attorney, but you might as well just go to upsidedownrealestate.com. And you can find me at listingattorney.com too, is what I was saying. But this whole video series, this is about what's happening in a weakening market and what you all would want to do that's different. And good real estate advisors, your brokers and realtors who understand this, who had experience 10 or 15 years ago, this is exactly what they'd be telling you as well. And they'd be working for you. I'm concerned that lots of realtors don't even understand what I'm saying because they're so new. They weren't around during the last market slowdown in California. Thanks. Talk to you later. winnerscheck.com. Or if you're seeing this on Facebook, just type in call or consult or strategy session. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye. So you can DM me or you can make that comment, and my software will pick it up. And if I'm available, I'll instantly talk to you. Otherwise, I'll get back to you. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.